Dear fellow researchers, today we are examining a phenomenon that shatters the foundations of rational thinking, female signals of interest. In theory, communication should be linear, stimulus, reaction, clear result. But in practice, here are the facts. Subject A received a smile, a touch on the forearm, and the phrase, "You're so interesting." Logical conclusion, green light. Subject acts. Result, "Oh no, we're just friends." Question, where did the mistake happen? In encoding the signal? In decoding? Or perhaps the coordinate system itself is flawed? If you've ever felt like a translator who knows the words but doesn't understand the language, welcome to our lab. Today we'll try to find a pattern where it seems only chaos reigns. Let's start with the first experiment, eye contact. Ready? Hold on.
All right, fellow researchers. After yesterday's fiasco with the Just Friends category, I've decided to start with the basics. Experiment number 2, eye contact. Pulls out an imaginary stopwatch, presses the button. The hypothesis is as simple as the periodic table. If a woman looks at you for more than 3 seconds, it's a sign of interest. Less than a second, indifference. She looks away quickly, shyness. Does it all make sense? Yes. Does it all work? Well, almost. Draws a graph where the expected result line diverges sharply from reality. So the data. Subject B was in a coffee shop. The girl at the next table looked up. Our eyes met, and she held that gaze for exactly 4 seconds. 4. Waves his arms excitedly. That's more than my 3 seconds. That's a green light. That's... Suddenly stops. Face goes blank. Turns out, she was just trying to remember if she knew me, and then she spent another 2 seconds wondering whether to come over and ask if I was the guy who lent her a pen in class 3 years ago. Conclusion? A 4-second gaze can mean either romantic interest or a simple lapse of memory. But that's not all. The control group revealed something even more interesting. When a girl looks away quickly, it could be shyness. Or maybe she just saw something disgusting and is trying not to throw up. Logic? Where are you? Looks at the camera in despair. So my new conclusion, eye contact isn't binary code, it's quantum physics. Until you measure it, you don't know if it's flirting or if the person is just looking for... Fellow researchers, experiment number 3, the Tactile Paradox. The theory sounds perfect. Touch is the universal language of intimacy. A hand signifies interest. A shoulder signifies trust. The back is a coincidence. Does it all make sense? Yes. Does it all work? Well, it depends on the context. Subject D was touched on the forearm during a conversation at a bar. The girl smiled, touched him, and said, "Oh, sorry, it's just crowded in here." Conclusion. The very same touch can mean both "I like you" and "sorry, I bumped into you." But that's not all. Control group. The girl never touched the subject, but stayed within arm's reach all evening. Interest, indifference, fear of personal space. So, here's my new conclusion. Physical contact isn't Morse code. It's a cipher where every letter has 3 meanings and the key is lost. Ready for experiment number 4? There, we'll figure out why fixing your hair isn't always about your hairstyle. I promise it'll be even more interesting. Colleagues, put away your stopwatches. Today we are moving on to macro signals. Experiment number 4, the Grooming Effect. Evolutionary theory states that animals preen their feathers or fur to attract a mate. Humans do the same. The hypothesis is ironclad. If a girl fixes her hair, exposing her neck, or straightens her back when you walk in, that's a biological marker of interest. She's preening for you. Data. Subject said in the library. I walk past. She, 1, tucks a strand behind her ear. 2, tosses her hair over her shoulder. 3, touches the pendant around her neck. Frequency, 14 touches in 5 minutes. This isn't a coincidence, it's the peacock dance. Probability of interest, 99%. But then I stepped closer, and I saw a mirrored display case behind her. She wasn't flirting, she was checking to see if her bangs were sticking out. And the pendant, she was just trying to untangle the chain that had got Subject's head kept scratching her neck and tugging at her hair. I was already preparing a wedding speech, but it turned out a mosquito had landed on her, and her sweater was made of itchy wool. Conclusion. Grooming isn't always about you. Sometimes it's just that her head itches or her underwear is uncomfortable. We look for love where there's only physical discomfort. Ready for experiment number 5? There we'll explore why laughter at your jokes can be the most dangerous trap. I promise it's going to hurt.
Guys, put away your magnifying glasses. Today we're analysing sound. Experiment number 5, the laughter trap. The theory is ironclad. If she laughs at your jokes, she's interested. The logic, she's expending energy on a positive reaction. It's a biological marker of attraction. Data. Subject L tells a joke. The girl laughs loudly 3 times in 5 minutes. That's not just politeness. That's resonance. The probability of success is 100%. But then I turned on the analyzer. It turns out that laughter is social lubricant. She laughed to fill the pause, the second time to politely end the conversation, and the third. She just laughs at everything. At the pigeon on the bench, at the phone screen, at her own shadow. The control group sealed the deal. The girl was laughing out loud, but when offered coffee, she replied, "Oh, I'm busy right now, maybe later." Conclusion. Laughter isn't a green light. It's often just a shield against awkwardness, or a polite way of saying, "Thanks for the entertainment, but no." We look for love in sounds that often mean nothing more than a desire to escape. Ready for experiment number 6? There, we'll break down the phrase, "we should meet up sometime," which actually means never. I promise, it's going to hurt. Colleagues, close your notebooks. Today, we're breaking down the final boss of female logic. Experiment number 6, the time vacuum paradox. The phrase, "we should meet up sometime," sounds perfect. We should is a need. Meet up is an action. Logic suggests this is a plan. She wants to see me in the future. Data. Subject N receives this message on Friday evening. Emotional background, euphoria. He prepares a reply. Sure, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Reply. Oh, I can't make it on Tuesday. Anyway, let's do it sometime later when I'm free. Stickman is in shock. Later. When is that? Tomorrow. Next week. In the next life. The conclusion is brutal. Sometime isn't a time. It's a black hole where hopes disappear. If a proposal lacks a specific date and place, it's not a plan. It's a soft rejection wrapped in the sugarcoating of politeness. We wait for a later that will never come. Ready for the final conclusion. That's where I'll gather all these rakes into a single verse. Fellow researchers, the experiments are over. 6 sections, 6 theories, 6 times my logic shattered against reality, like a graphite rod against asphalt. Eye contact, quantum physics, touch, a cipher without a key, laughter, social lubricant, somehow, a black hole. I was looking for an algorithm where chaos reigns. I wanted instructions for relationships, like for a washing machine. But people aren't machines. Even if you press start, nothing is guaranteed. The conclusion is harsh but liberating. It's impossible to decode another person, because they themselves don't know what signal they'll send next. So I'm closing this log, and opening a new file. It's called the Vulnerability Manifesto. Ready to hear what a scientist sounds like, who has finally realized that a mistake isn't a glitch, but the process itself. Listen, this is more important than